Good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. It is Saturday morning, which means it is time for Brastering Media. It is Ashley. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. We have a big day ahead. And a very interesting SmackDown last night, or yesterday afternoon, depending on what time we're in the world, what method you use to watch it. So we'll be getting into that. Very, I don't know if polarized, if it's too strong or whatnot, but as the first that came to mind with that whole main event go home ish type segment. Obviously, it wasn't the main event match, but it was the main event segment. So we'll be getting to that because that shit cracked me up. Cracked me up. So definitely want to talk about that with you guys, and then obviously we'll be diving into the almost said Money in the Bank, the Night of Champions official predictions. Not even night; it's like afternoon of champions. So yeah, we'll be going over that. I'm pulling up the card here. I thought I did, but closed that window. But good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I'm known to talk to myself for an extended amount of time in real life and on here. So, but the purpose of this is so you guys can hear me. So just want to confirm that. But I see you guys in the chat already, so I appreciate you guys filing in, whether you're watching here on YouTube or over on Twitter. I appreciate that. We all do here at Brass Ring Media. If you're watching for the first time here live on YouTube, feel free to like and subscribe. That definitely helps us out. On Twitter, honestly, I don't really know what you do over there besides following us. So if you are, that's great. And if you want to make your way over to YouTube and give us a subscribe, that'd be great as well. But guys, we will be getting into obviously. We'll start with SmackDown. I'm not gonna get too much into SmackDown because to be honest with you, I didn't catch the entire show. I caught the majority of it though. There was because I was watching it on delay. I thought that my feed was messed up because I was watching. It started and then I like dragged a little dial over to I guess rewind it a bit the live feed and because I completely forgot it was on and I went back to rewind it and then I was watching Cody, Randy come out, super cool, man. It's just it's so fun, man. Singing the interest themes. I know sometimes people get annoyed of it watching it at home and stuff like that, but bro, like it's just so fun. Like personally, like I know like being there and like even with the eat, like I've talked. I don't want to say I've talked shit about it because I don't dislike it that strongly, but I got to the point right before WrestleMania. I was like, like the whole Yeet thing. Are we kind of getting to the fruition of it, you know what I mean? Like is it kind of like running its course? But man, when you're in that arena, stadium, wherever it is, and you see the reaction and you feel that, bro, like it's different. So I know it's sometimes annoying for us at home, but it's different when you're there, man. So shout out to the fans there again. I'm not gonna get into like any politics or anything like that or what have you. I'm happy. I didn't do a stream on the politics part, but I did a stream on whether they would be going to WWE or not last week on my channel, Kick Ash Podcast here on YouTube. So feel free to check that out. We had like almost like an hour discussion, I think, on it, just going over, just the different avenues of it, looking at it from a couple different sides. So that was really, I don't want to say fun, but it was I guess beneficial for me too because I love hearing what you guys have to say, and especially on like sensitive subjects, to say the very least, when it comes to situations like that. But long story short, man, I'm happy everyone seems to be good. Obviously tonight, for them, nighttime, they'll be doing the show and then I guess leaving right after. So I hope everyone's safe, man. I hope everyone has safe travels coming back. That's obviously the main point and the main focus. But with that being said, all right, cool. You guys can hear me. Okay, right on. Appreciate that. I will be getting into the chat here in a second too. Actually, I'm gonna get into that now because I am known to ramble on without saying hey, and that's kind of rude. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Zach, Fernando. Buenos dias, sir. Buenos dias, bro. Fernando, the heat this week, man, and this weather, man, it's just unreal. Like I'll be driving and then all of a sudden it'll be like a decent looking day, maybe a couple clouds here and there, but nothing too crazy. All of a sudden you hear a crack, that's the thunder, and then downpour. And the lightning last night was crazy. Like I was driving to my part time and there was like a long ass line. It was like it was almost looked like a line graph or some shit. It's crazy. And then it just ends like nothing happened. I'm like, okay, that's fine. JB Oreo, what's up, dude? What up? What up? And Fernando, wait, okay, yeah, Fernando. I thought there was two Fernandos at first. I was like, wait, what? It's just you, just the one and only. What up, Sean? What up, dude? I was actually thinking about you, Sean. I was gonna text you this afternoon. I hadn't seen you in a couple chats lately, so like on various shows. So just wanted to make sure you're good, dude. But it's good to see you in the chat here. Good morning, Dr. Ross, my guy. Good morning, good morning, Zach. Good morning, Sai, my guy, Sai, my guy. Tube Man. All right, that's interesting. Yeah, we'll throw this up here real quick. What up, Tube Man 316? You said glad SmackDown back to 2 hours. I hope Shinsuke Nakamura re-signed to WWE and get Tanahashi's final match at New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 20 in Tokyo Dome with WWE and slash TKO's and Triple H's blessing. That would be dope, dude. Even before, like, so going back to when Triple H and all these guys first took over, obviously we knew that things were going to be opening up and things were going to be changing. I still probably wouldn't have pegged that we would have not necessarily an open relationship, but be even entertaining the relationship of WWE partnering with other promotions and not necessarily look to just buy them outright. AAA, that being to the side. But for instance, like with TNA, because I'm in the camp of like, I do not want WWE to buy any promotion. If you want to help them, fantastic, but don't buy them. You know what I mean? Because that kind of defeats the purpose of them existing as a company. So I think that would be dope, dude. I honestly, I haven't been on social media too much past couple days, but just like kind of popping in, popping out. But I haven't seen anything in regards to Shinsuke's contract. So if you guys have any more info on that, drop it in. But yeah, I honestly like I'd be surprised if they wouldn't re-sign him, even though they don't use him as much as they should. I still think they know what they have there, and I don't think, for instance, they'd want Shinsuke go into like an AEW or anything like that. So I think they would make him a decent offer to stay. You know what I mean? And dude, Shinsuke loves the beach, so I think he lives here in Florida, right? It makes sense. But that dude is just living his best life, man. So props to him. But in regards to the final match, to circle back to it, I think that would be really cool, and I think that it could be a possibility. It's a little bit of a long stretch, but dude, if any environment was gonna like allow it to happen, it would be this. So that'd be dope, dude. We'll see. We'll see. Scarlett, good morning, good morning. You say, like I said last year, Randy Orton is winning. I will say this again. I appreciate. Well, I can respect that dedication, yo, for real. But I think this is going to be the first real seed between. And thanks for bringing this up because it kind of intertwines with the predictions and everything. Famously, my dog has the hammer that she chews on in the back. So if you guys can hear that, let me know. It drives me nuts. But if you guys can't hear it, that's the most important thing. So I just don't want to ignore you guys because I don't want to be that person who's streaming and then has like annoying shit going on in the background when I'm trying to watch them. Yo, especially if you have like earbuds in, ridiculous. So let me know. You're not hurt my feelings. Or if any noise pops up, you're like, yo, can you like what the fuck is that? Let me know. So Scarlett, in regards to Randy and Cody, back to what I was saying, I think this is going to be the planting of the first seed, right? I think this is going to be a really competitive match. At first, and I was thinking about this when I was going to get my coffee this morning, I was like, man, I wish that, if I could choose, I would have held off having Cody and Randy's first match against each other until they have an actual feud going. But then I thought about it a little bit more. I'm like, maybe not. Maybe this is a good foundation for them to start their story, because obviously the easy part of whatever story they're going to go with and whatever match they're going to end up having down the road, the history and the backstory is already there, right? So they really like that's the beauty between them. Like they really, I'm not going to say they don't need to put in effort because obviously you do, but in regards to creating a story and coming up with something, it's already there. Now, I think the match that we're getting this afternoon, which side note, I love afternoon shows. I love them. It helps me out, you know what I mean? And I feel like it helps the majority of the people out around the world. So I'm here for it. But with Randy and Cody, man, I think this is gonna be 20 plus minute match. Should be. And then I honestly I was wondering like if we're gonna get any type of interference or any type of cheating, you know, like anything like that, or maybe not like I'm not saying like Randy like whacks Cody over the head with the chair or anything crazy like that. But just like a low blow or something minor, as I much as I hate low blows. But I think not. I think we're gonna get a straightforward, clean cut match, and I think Cody's gonna win. I think as crazy as it sounds, I think Cody needs a solid win, right? Like I think the presentation of his character ever since he's lost the championship to Cena, it hasn't been terrible, right? And I think it was perfect that he took time off. He absolutely needed to and deserved it. Coming back and doing the tag match, that just felt kind of forced. And going into SummerSlam, we all kind of already figured it was going to be Cody versus Cena. It was just a matter of what exactly set that up to get there. Or Cody could have just been like, yo, like, you fucked me, man, at WrestleMania. So I'm getting, like, this is my rematch. You know what I mean? But obviously, they're not going to do that. So I think with Cody beating Randy here, this is going to really irritate Randy. I don't know if he's gonna go from 0 to pissed off or if it's just gonna bother him and then he's going to see the continued success of Cody, especially if Cody goes on to win SummerSlam after winning the King of the Ring and obviously that propelling him to the opportunity for the championship. And I could very easily see us going into Survivor Series with Cody versus Randy for the championship. I think that Cody, because I don't even remember the what the pay-per-view is between SummerSlam and Survivor Series. That's just the next PLE rather. That's just the next PLE that I thought of. But time-wise too, it would give you a good amount of time to set the stage. August, September, October. No, that's a little bit too much time. So whatever that next pay-per-view is, right? But not saying that he has to turn on Cody right after, right? It could be kind of drawn out for a few weeks and then turn on Cody and then go from there. I just think Survivor Series is one of the big four still. You know, I know it doesn't have the same effect that it did way back when, right? But to me, it's always going to be part of the big four. I don't care what else they come up with. Money in the Bank has not taken that over for me. It never will. You know, maybe it should, but me being stubborn, it's not going to. But yeah, so I think that's gonna be like the lay of the land for Cody and Randy going forward. Scarlett, so not to crush your dreams, but that's just kind of my prediction. Shit. Well, I guess I already gave I already gave that match away. But whatever. Um yeah. So that's my thought on that. Oh, well, this automatically popped up, so that's great. It says you're right, so that's a great one to put on there. You were right the first time. Randy and Cody should have had a feud first, then a PLE win. Okay, great, Fernando. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you agreeing with me there. Scarlett, no, don't leave. Don't leave, Scarlett. Don't leave. Yeah, Sean, for sure, man. You said Cody versus Randy. I don't think needs the title, but it makes it bigger. It does. It definitely does. And yeah, side no, you did, and it's funny you mentioned that because I was listening to a show on YouTube this morning, and the streamer had said the same thing. Like for whatever reason, YouTube, well, not for whatever reason, apparently YouTube did an upgrade, so it is showing people's, I guess, like I don't even know because I should have, but I don't really know too much about like the usernames and handles and stuff like that. But it changed from what your handle, like I guess like the presentation maybe to what your name is. So yeah, and that's why. Thank you for bringing that up, Sai. So that's why when I saw Fernando, I was like, wait, is there two Fernandos? But that's why. So yeah, YouTube is just doxing everyone. All right, hold on one second. All right, just didn't want to be shaking all that ice in y'all's ear. Fernando, you don't think WWE will not let him do a match in New Japan? All right, man, we'll see. We'll see. If I had to put money on it, I would probably say no either. But like I said, if it was ever gonna happen, this is the time. Or going forward now, like this is the stage, right? That would allow it to happen. But yeah, guys. So going back to last night a little bit, like I said, this isn't full SmackDown review. Kind of want to touch on a couple key points. Obviously, like I said, the main event segment, and then go into the official prediction show for Monday. Earlier I said Night of Champions, and I thought of Money in the Bank, but now Money in the Bank is stuck in my head now. So if I say it, just ignore me. But you guys, what do you guys want to start with? Well, you want to start with Cena and Punk, or you want to? I'm gonna start with Julia really quick. A lot of people have been talking shit on Zelina Vega, okay, and say that she can't wrestle, her character sucks, her music sucks, her title reign sucked, all that stuff. And I'm just like, wow, like people, like some of these people were the same people advocating for them to push her and to like make something of her and to give her time and all that stuff, and now everyone's just on like the hate train. And I'm just like, when did we all start hating Zelina Vega? Like what? Like, yeah, like there's been like a couple mishaps or whatever, but like shit happens, dude. You know what I mean? And whatever. Like for me personally, like if you guys have watched me before, then you know. If you're new to watching me, I don't sit here and like nitpick the moves and, oh, this person messed up here, this person messed up here. Oh, what happened here? Oh, is this person's fault? No, is this like, I don't care about that, to be honest with you. If they end up hurting someone else and it's like a repeat, like, yo, they're reckless, da da da, or whatever, then that's different. You know what I mean? But if it's like, I don't know. Like it's not my job to, and that's not why I sit here, to critique their wrestling moves and like, oh wow, like they can't do this or they fuck up all the time and stuff like that. Like, yeah, like obviously I'm gonna sit here and talk about the match, and if they mess up a move and it takes me out of the match or whatever, then obviously I'm gonna talk about it. But I'm not gonna be like, yo, they suck. Like I never want to see them on my screen again, and blah blah blah. Like people, like I don't know. Like I just saw like when I was scrolling a little bit last night on my break, I was just like, wow, like, wow. And again, like, was the match great? No, it wasn't great, but I don't know, man. And I don't know why it bothered me. Maybe it just bothered me for whatever reason, but I'm just not here for the hate, bro. Like I don't understand it. So did she have the best title reign? No. But yo, at least we tried. You know what I mean? And at least we know what came of it, and if we know what to do going forward. You know what I mean? Personally, I think she is best utilized, and this is no diss or not intended to be any type of knock or anything, but I personally enjoyed Zelina Vega the most when she was the manager to Andrade, right? And that's, again, no shade. I'm not even saying she needs to stop wrestling, but just think of the intergender matches they could have and stuff like that. Like I just think it could be very fun. And again, just because you're a manager doesn't mean you have to stop wrestling. You just it's kind of like the best of both worlds in a way. So in with seeing Andrade and Ray Phoenix, I was like, bro, like, can you imagine a little stable with Zelina at the forefront for Ray Phoenix and Andrade? I just think that'd be dope. Yes, we don't, like I ideally we would have Phoenix, maybe be going after the US title or doing something like that. But to be honest with you, the US title scene is kind of tied up right now. Obviously, is not going to be going for the Undisputed Championship right now. So why not put him in a tag team? And I think it's first of all, I don't think that should be viewed as a negative, in my opinion. And I think too, it's it would be kind of cool to see him in a tag team first without going directly into the tag team with his brother, because we can see still how dynamic and what moveset Ray has, and then especially when he has a partner, like the tandem offset or moves and stuff like that. But then, not even if, but when him and Penta end up teaming together, you already have, as if you're just strictly going, a WWE fan, haven't seen him anywhere else, you already have an idea of, like, I saw what he did with Andrade, X, Y, and Z, and then you see what he does as in a tag team with Penta, and you're just like, just incredible, right? So I think that could be a good showcase for all three of them, really. And it's not like you're really doing anything much with Andrade as a singles right now. Zelina obviously just lost the U.S. Championship, so I'm assuming they're not going to be doing anything much with her either right now. So why not make the best of all three worlds? You know what I mean? SmackDown is moving back to 2 hours, thank Christ. So you're not going to have as much time to fill. So you're not going to have as many of those random, just like backstage segments with Andrade just popping up in his suit. You know what I mean? Which ironically happened last night. So to kill three birds with one stone, you tie them all together and you present them that way. It helps your tag team roster as well, which SmackDown does have a solid roster. But hopefully they get more shine and more attention. So just some quick thoughts in regards to that. Julia winning, I'm very happy about. I think that for whatever reason, she is not clicking as quickly as Stephanie Vaqueras, which is interesting to me. Because they're very similar. When you think about it, obviously English isn't either of their first language. Obviously from different parts of the world. Went to and really established their names in other companies, and then came to WWE because that's where their heart was, and that's what their dream had always been, So very similar, like kind of like basic foundation between the two, but for whatever reason, I think someone's coming up the stairs. 1 second. It's the Amazon man. 1 second. She should stop. But very similar, right? Like I said, they both similar backgrounds, all that stuff. But for whatever reason, Julia is not being as, I don't want to say accepted, but as like people, Stephanie, it just draws people in more. Her, I hate to say aura now, but like the aura, right? And just the presence of Stephanie just hits different than Julia for whatever reason. And again, not knocking Julia, it's just different starting points, I guess, for, again, whatever reason. And even getting into WWE, right? They both started at NXT, both came up to the main roster, not too far after each other. So I don't know, man. It's going to be really interesting to see a year from now, 2 years from now, the trajectory for both. Not even trying to compare, but I guess trying to, I guess comparing in a little way. But not in a negative, just to see how it plays out. But I like putting it on Julia because Julia reminds me of Asuka in NXT in its sense that she could be a dominant force and she could really. I'm not expecting her to go as long as Asuka did, right? But 8 months to a year as a U.S. Women's Champion, carry it going into WrestleMania, have a big time match. I think that'd be a great idea, and it establishes the U.S. Championship, right? Adds more prestige to it. It needs it. It's a brand new title, right? It has what is it? 6 months, or not even 3 months old? 4 months old? When did it come out? March. Yeah. So less than 6 months old, guys. It still needs work. So having Julia be the real workhorse for it, I think would be great. It allows people to get more exposure to Julia, see her moveset, see how competitive she is, see how solid she is, right? And having her go on a dominant streak, I don't think is that bad. You know what I mean? It would establish her and make her a real threat. So when she, kind of like Gunther, so when she does end up losing that championship, it's a big deal. And then you're like, oh, okay, it's only a matter of time before she goes for the world championship. So just some early thoughts in regards for that as well. But it was a good idea and a good move to put the championship on Julia. So I'm happy they did that. Happy they did that for sure. Scarlett, you said was that a dog? Yeah. I have 3 doggies in here. And well, 2 out of the 3 are actual watchdogs. 1 does not budge at all. The 2 dogs could be losing their mind and going crazy, whatever. My other dog, Frida Kahlo, she just lays. Sometimes she doesn't even wake up. No concern at all. No worry, no care. Nothing. She's fine. But yeah, so that's my dog. We get a lot of Amazon packages, not only us, but the people in my building here, so heads up on that. But I'm gonna get to your comments here and then we'll talk about the main event promo. Stone Cold's coming back for one more match, Fernando. Can you imagine? I mean, he did. He did with KO, right? Like I said somewhere else, man, respect to Austin. He is out there living his best life. I'm happy for him. Facts, Fernando. Fucking facts, bro. Comment of the day so far. You said people give Goldberg a hard time botching. Oh, okay, well, I took that the other way. But you said people give Goldberg a hard time botching in matches. Why not Zelina? Fair. You know, and I'm not saying like you don't deserve any critiques, right? Because to be fair, you're a professional, right? You're a professional. You are on stage. You've been doing this for X amount of years. You have trained for X amount of years. You get paid good money. You're on national TV for millions. So I understand that 100%, dude. Not saying that none of us deserve any type of feedback or constructive criticism, right? But to me, it gets, and you know, you can take this how, you know, if you think I'm being biased because I'm a female, whatever. But the women get more attacked than the men, dude, in regards to botches and stuff like that. Like when the women mess up, right? It's like, oh, it's not even people take it more. People just take it to the extreme, right? They take it personally. They and that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm like, you don't need to be nasty about it, dude. Like, yeah, she messed up a move. Like, okay, like, but you don't need to sit there and say like, oh, she sucks. Like, her whole career sucks. Like, she shouldn't wrestle. She needs to get off my TV screen. Da da da. Like, okay, if she needs more training, dude, okay, fine. But like, people are just assholes sometimes. You know what I mean? And I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, you need to just say, "Oh no, you're doing a great job, kid," when she's out there doing a terrible job. But it's a way you present it. You know what I mean? I'm just saying like we don't need to be out here attacking people. It's like shit, dude. Like you know what I mean? Because like I think about it, like if I'm at my job right and I do like a really shitty job at it that day, I don't want a camera sitting there broadcasting me in front of millions of people because then people are gonna be like, "Oh, you suck. You need to like you should be fired." Blah blah blah. And it's like, yo, I had a bad day. You know what I mean? So again, does she need extra work? Does she need extra training? I don't know. Maybe. It's not my call. I'm not her employer. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not a trainer. You know what I mean? Just kind of stating facts. Yeah, she's messed up some moves and stuff like that. There's wrestlers who out there who are more solid than she is and more fluid. So yeah, she's there's levels to this too. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and act like there's not. And yeah, that's why I said the right woman won too, because going forward to really establish it, you want solid and strong matches, and for whatever reason, it just wasn't clicking. So that's kind of where I'm coming at it with, man. But again, dude, 100% because Goldberg is fucking terrible out there. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. But Goldberg, it's Goldberg in my opinion is just a little worse. Like risk wise. So yeah, just my opinion. But again, not saying Goldberg doesn't deserve to have his final match or didn't deserve to have the career he did. Goldberg is one of the smartest men in wrestling. You know what I mean? Goldberg took the limited, and not a knock, the limited moveset, the limited skills, and what made him Goldberg and that intensity, he put it in a package. And credit to Eric Bischoff, dude. Like what Paul Heyman would always say, you accentuate the positives, hide the weaknesses. Eric took those huge positives, put that on your platter, and said, "Here you go." And then all that extra shit you just never saw. You know what I mean? Or he well until the end. But that starting out, dude, like you didn't even think of like, yo, can this guy like can he actually like chain wrestle? Can he do like what can he really do? And as it went on over time, obviously, like you had more and more questions, or you got to a point where you wanted to see him, maybe actually wrestle a little bit longer. You know what I mean? But with Goldberg, it was a different presentation, right? Like he is presented as just a monster going out there and just hitting however many moves, jackknife, spear, done. The the risk factor, I think, with Goldberg and the injury, factor, I think is a little bit higher than other wrestlers. So that that is why, even going into like you guys remember the Undertaker and Goldberg match, dude? Like just not a good time. Not a good time. So again, not saying you shouldn't do it to one or you should do it to one and not the other. It's just the presentation of it, dude. You know what I mean? So thanks for bringing that up, though. That was a very good comparison. K Smith, what up? What up, dude? Yeah, for sure, Sean. You said if a character natural charisma and a cool factor, she does have a cool factor, dude. And to be fair, Julia's entrance is pretty dope too, but Stephanie's entrance is just it's kind of like you stop what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like you stop what you're doing, like you get that vibe, like this is a big deal. You know what I mean? Like this is a star coming out. So she's definitely got that going for her. Sean, wow, okay. You said Punk totally cracks me up, and I truly hope he wins with a Seth cash in. Interesting, dude. I felt like you would. So let me know what you. We're gonna get into the Cena and Punk of it all here now. I'm just gonna go through a couple more chats here. But Sean, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on Punk-a-nomics. Yo, when I saw that shit, I was like, please tell me when the music hit and they showed the screens and it had the Punk life going back and forth. Y'all remember the old Windows 98? If not to age myself, but if you know, you know, right? The old Windows 98 where it would go boom, boom. I mean, it didn't make the noise, but it would like go off the sides and that little logo. That's what I thought of when the Punk life was just going back and forth. I was like, yo, it's just my brain, guys. But Sean, let me know what you think, because if I had to guess, Sean, I would have thought you would have hated that segment. David Hall. You said, Ashley, you're the man. I see what you did there, my friend. I appreciate that. And you said, I get a lot of Amazon packages too. It beats going to the store. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I despise going to the stores now. I was that crazy person. Before the pandemic, right? I loved going to Walmart at like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, man. That was when I would get my best shopping done. I would just go in there and just, as weird as it sounds, relax. Especially, so years ago, I would work a 3 to 11 shift. So it was at a gym too. So I'd get off at like obviously 11. I'd work out until like 12, 12:30, bullshit around, whatever. And then I'd go, well, at the gym I worked at, we had like a cafe area too, so I'd eat real quick. And then I'd go to the store, man. Not obviously every night, but if I needed to get some stuff, I'd go to the store like before or like during the actual day. I would like, for instance, if I need like milk or whatever, like, I should go to the store. Like, I'll just do it after work. And you see me in Walmart at fucking like 1:30, 2 o'clock. Just great. Great, dude. Ever since the pandemic, man, shopping just hasn't been the same. And with my part-time job, I'm just so in the evening, I'm just like, it doesn't bother me, dude, but like you just get tired of being around people. You know what I mean? Like I get tired of I'm one of those people like I need time to just like disconnect and just be around no one. No one did anything to me. I'm not mad at anybody. I just need a little bit of time to myself. You know what I mean? Um so yeah, bro. Fucking feel you there, dude. At first I felt bad going back to the Amazon packages. At first I felt bad that uh the Amazon guy was coming out so frequently, and I don't order too much, but like I would try to make an Amazon list and just like order everything that I would want to get off of Amazon at once, so he would have to come back and forth. And I was talking to my boss at one point, and he was like, yeah, but you giving them multiple orders a day or them having multiple deliveries a day keeps them keeps them in business, right? And it keeps the need for more drivers, because if they only have, like, for instance, if everyone did that, they wouldn't need that many drivers because they would just all be taking them at one point. And I was like, damn, dude, you're right. So a little peek inside my daily struggles in my brain. What up, Tommy? What up? What up? Damn it, you're funny, bro. Especially with those emojis. That's funny. K Smith, you say you can't see Punk winning today? Yeah. David, I know, man. I said don't date me. Don't date me like that, bro. It was decades, obviously, at this point ago. Yeah, bro. Yeah. I've been around these streets for a little bit, man. Been on these streets for a little bit now. All right, so the business part of the show, right? The serious part. Punk-a-nomics. The most ridiculous shit I've ever seen in my life, dudes. What the fuck? Like I said, when the music hit and they showed the screen and it was the Punk live, I literally said, I out loud, I said, stop it. Stop it. And I was like, because once I saw it, I was like, oh, he's got to be going all in with it now. This dude, this motherfucker comes out there with. I mean, I gotta pull up a picture. This, and God bless him, because uh, I don't know whose idea this was. If I had to guess, I would say it was either Punk's or Cena's, and I would say Punk. You know what I mean? I would put money on it being CM Punk's idea. Uh, I'm sure it's on Twitter, actually. That'll probably be easier. But just fucking perfect, dude. Down to I don't even know what you call it. Like those things that go in your knuckle, like your fingers. The drug free instead of the word life. Just amazing. He had the Chicago Bulls hat on. And I think it was a Cubs baseball jersey, right? Some shit. I'm pulling up a picture. Hold on. Oh my god. It was just fantastic. Hold on 1 second, and then I'm gonna get back into it. I gotta pull up a picture. Like here's a dude. I mean, interesting reaction for Jade. I just saw a picture over here. But man, her outfit, stellar. Stellar. All right, here's one. Oh my gosh. And we're gonna get to, if I can find a transcription of it, the rap. Oh, someone made a dope picture. I'm gonna show you guys this too. That's sick. I wonder who, do we have credit for the artist? Yo, that's sick. I'm gonna show you guys. All right, so I'm gonna just go to Wrestle Ops feed here and show you guys. Here it is. I just fucking kills me, bro. Fucking kills me. Which one is that? Look at this shit, guys. If you're not looking at your screen, just please look at this. I'm assuming everyone's seen the show last night, but maybe not. I know a lot of people don't watch the shows, the Saudi Arabia shows. So if you have not seen it and you have not been on Twitter or any social media, this is our guy, man. This is Punk. This is this is Punk. Yeah, and it was the Chicago Cubs. And number 13 too. I wonder if that's his favorite number, right? Because he doesn't, luck is for losers, right? But dude, fucking perfect, man. Fucking perfect. And then this is him in the ring, obviously. Going back and forth with Cena. But then when I was pulling up the picture here, look at this dope artwork. I don't know who did it. I'm going to see if I can add, or if I can find it so I can give them credit, because it's just, I love this picture, dude. Look at this. Look at this artwork, y'all. Isn't this dope? Let me... There, so you guys can see the full thing. Isn't that dope? I don't know, like I said, let me see if I can find the picture. That picture is on WrestleOps Twitter feed. If you follow them, they're a great follow on Twitter, so shout out to them and follow them. Oh, maybe it was this person. Oh wow, okay, cool. I actually found the person who did it, so I'm going to remove this and show their account to give them... Hold on. Cool. So this is the gentleman's Twitter page who did that really dope work. Looks like their name is Abdul Malik. Hope I said that. Their handle is at 97. And WrestleOps, obviously, like I said, had posted this, retweeted it. And he said, for someone who grew up on the Punk versus Cena legendary feud in 2011, getting to do this is actually crazy. I'm so honored for it, and I couldn't be more excited for tonight. That's dope, dude. And see, this is what I mean in regards to wrestling, man. Like, and that's what I was saying on my stream last week in regards to if WWE is still gonna be going because of all the shit that's going on. It sucks, dude, because at the end of the day, we're all people, and we all just want to live our lives, man. Like, sports is so beautiful because if you think back during the pandemic too, man, sports is the one thing that brings people together, right? And it gives people joy. So seeing someone who lives over there and who did this amazing artwork and who, I guess I'm not sure if he's going to the show tonight or if he's just obviously excited that's going to be happening over there. That's dope, dude. And just shout out to him for getting his artwork posted like that from WrestleOps. Like I said, they're a great follow as well. But that's dope, dude. You know what I mean? That's dope. So shout out to him. Like I said, I just came across that and I just thought that was really dope. Like, so props to him. I don't know if you guys care about that, but I just thought it was cool. I love seeing different y'all creators out there and the artists and everyone. I'm so jealous of you guys because I don't know shit about... I feel like a boomer when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I don't know like where to get started. You know what I mean? My school was cool, but they were very lacking in... Like, a lot of high schools and shit, I have like, you get like college credits and high school and all this shit, and like we in home ec, we didn't get that shit. Very basic. But yeah, guys, so the promo that was. So first of all, I completely forgot how much I loved that Punk-a-nomics intro. And say what you want about Cena, dude, but his music ain't that bad. It's so funny. Like, and I think when he released his CD, I forget the name of it, but it had the spinner belt as the album cover. It actually did pretty well in the sales the first week, back when CDs were still a thing. It actually did pretty well. Um, so audio review predictions. I know you got a review. There we go. But yeah, I when I heard that intro, I was like, yo, stop it, stop it, stop it. So many memories, right? So many memories. And Punk pulled it off, man, down to the chain with the lock on it, obviously the hat, the shorts, the jersey, all that shit. The boxers, the boxers, fucking terrible. And did you see he had the knee pads on, but they were down down to his shins? Just hilarious. I'm trying to pull up the transcription of the rap. And to be fair too, before we get into it, not necessarily word for word, but like an overview of it. Excuse me. I thought we were gonna get like an Eminem type of rap response. It kind of like, you remember when Eminem was out, if you saw 8 Mile, right? Remember when he was out there and he pretty much said all the negative shit about him? He was like, yo, I live at home with my mom in the trailer park, blah blah blah, I'm white, blah blah blah. And he was like, he said something, he was like, go ahead, tell these people something else they don't know about me. And dude was toast. Like, that was all his material, right? Because if you're going at someone and you're planning on talking shit about them because X, Y, and Z, and they go out there and give you the whole alphabet, and they're like, here, tell those people something else they don't know about me, and they're just standing like, what else are you gonna say? So they're screwed. So that's what I was expecting from Punk, be like, but it's kind of tricky too, because the big hurt, not the like, yes and no to the main thing that came out of Cena's promo against Punk last week was the tweet, right? And that's been the whole talking point, not on TV, but the kind of elephant in the room is the tweet, right? If you're Punk, you can't go out in Saudi Arabia in front of everyone there and be like, yo, like, yeah, like, I stand by, like, what are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, not even trying to make excuses, but literally, like, what are you supposed to do? So once I realized that he was not going to be going, like, talking, like, like, I don't know, like, that's just kind of what I thought, and I thought that would have been like a good response. And if anyone, Punk could have figured out a way to say it without saying it. So yeah, the response, the tone of it wasn't, I guess, supposed to be a serious tone. I mean, yeah, he did say a couple like personal jabs, but nothing that we haven't really heard before, or nothing that's like, oh my god. I mean, the one about the ex was kind of interesting, and like, I just hope they told Nikki, right? Not that it's that big of a deal or he disrespected or anything like that, but Nikki has been through a lot of personal shit. Which I'm not gonna obviously talk about here. It's out there, but we all know, right? Like, her and John Cena, a long relationship, broke up, whatever. But since then, she's had some stuff go on personally, which is it's sad, and I hope she's doing well personally, like, and mentally and emotionally and all that stuff. So that's why I said I just hope they brought it up with her. Just be like, yo, I'm just gonna say this. You know what I mean? Not again like they're out there like he's out there like driving it home or talking shit. Just a little jab. You know what I mean? So, and I don't know. If not, I don't think it's a big deal. But I don't think Nikki. I don't know. I hope she would have a problem with it. But again, like, it'd be the play thing to do. You know what I mean? But just, yeah. But that's what I thought, and we didn't necessarily get that, but it was entertaining for me, and to me it was, you're not supposed to take that seriously when you hear the music and you see the atrocity that is CM Punk standing there looking like he does. You already know, okay, all right, this he's just going out there and making a mockery of Cena, and in a lot of ways, that is what that's what can get to Cena. You know what I mean? Like, that. What else are you really gonna say? To To be fair, like in real life, I don't think anything could really get to Cena. But if you crack on what made him popular and what got him to what he is, like I guess that's that would personally bother him, right? But like character wise, but it's just I don't know, man. And honestly, like that's why I wish too we had a little bit more time for this feud, because it's just 3 weeks, man, just ain't enough. Ain't enough for a story that has so much substance like this does. I just feel like they could have gotten so much more out of this. And again, I know we're pressed for time. Cena's literally counting down the dates, and we have other things we got to get to. So I get it, and I'm happy this is happening, because I was pissed that wasn't the match at Money in the Bank, because just would have been perfect in my opinion. But yeah, man, do I wish we would have gotten more? 100%. But I'm happy we got what we got. So getting into the promo itself. So Cena made his entrance, and shout out to the crowd too, because they always play along, man. If the idea is for and everyone is supposed to be booing this guy, they generally go along with us. So that's dope. So there we go. Cena said very little. He said something like, "This is what a winner looks like," or something. Yeah. And then next thing you know, Cena's Dr. Thugonomics music plays, and the logo Punk Life goes back and forth as a screensaver. Punk walks out wearing a Chicago Cubs jersey with a chain and a padlock, a Chicago Bulls hat on backwards, and the jorts. Fantastic. And he had some J's on too, which are nice. And then of course the drug-free shit. I don't know what they're called. And he says, "Yo, check it. This is I can't even read this shit. This is basic Punk-a-nomics. Don't adjust your television set. Your eyes are just bright. This clown plagiarized my pipe bomb, so now I'm stealing word life." And I thought I remembered hearing something somewhere that he hated the phrase pipe bomb. So that's just funny. He continued saying stuff like how slow Cena is and how he's buried more talent than The Undertaker, which that could be a little something too. He rhymed about how he'd retire too if WWE hired his ex. Punk said Cena is like a fish-bellied Hulk Hogan, but somehow more problematic, which I didn't understand that. Like, the fish-bellied? I didn't understand that. Continued saying a line about Cena not being as good at acting as Batista and not having time for the people going forward because he'll be washing underwear for James Gunn. Punk says Cena is DC, but he'll always be the Marine to me. Which at first, like when you're just hearing it, it's like, why are you knocking Marines? But if you know, you know, right? And he says, "Before you go, John, there's one more wish to make, because tomorrow night you're going to lose to Kendrick, because bitch, you're my Drake." It's just crazy, bro. It's just fucking ridiculous. And he did the little mic drop thing, and then "you can't see me." And then his actual music played. I just, guys, I thought it was just fucking hilarious. I was just like dying laughing at it. Yeah, I took it for what it was. Like I saw a little bit of like I said, some comments on Twitter, and it's so comical to me that people actually took that shit seriously. Like, yeah, it was cringe. Yeah, it was very like secondhand embarrassment type shit, because I thought that was what it was supposed to be. Like, do you really think like Punk was taking himself seriously? No. No. That was the point. He was making a mockery out of John Cena. He was making a mockery out of his history, and a mockery out of his beginnings, and what, even though it ironically got him over, but it was making a mockery out of him. Just like Cena essentially was, I mean, not to the extreme, right? But he was kind of like mocking and making fun of and poking fun at Punk's pipe bomb. Punk did the same thing in return to Cena. So with what time they had, it's been good. You know what I mean? Definitely they could have done better if they had more time and more dates able to do so, but it is what it is, and like I said, I'm just happy we're going to be getting it because I think honestly too, unless he's going to be wrestling like Seth Rollins or something like that, this is probably going to be one of the best matches that Cena has before his retirement. Like say what you will about like Punk and the tweets and all that, but Punk has always brought out the best in Cena, in my opinion, and there's some of the like best matches Cena has had. So I'm looking forward to the match itself. Yeah. So we'll be getting to the official predictions here now. I'm gonna pull up your comments here again to see what's going on. My dog Callie, she has this thing now too. She wants to get on the bed, and she kind of gets stressed out. She has like crazy anxiety. It's poor dog, but so she kind of like, because she doesn't know if she's allowed to, right? So if I don't give her my blessing, she kind of like whimpers and gets anxious, and she wants to get on the bed. So then she starts grabbing the blanket with her mouth, and she'll pull it off. It's crazy as shit. I wish I could show you guys, but getting actually to the main topic here, the predictions. It's okay, Kakao. All right. So the King of the Ring tournament final for the men's side, I kind of gave away my prediction earlier between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Again, officially, I think Cody Rhodes. It's okay, baby. Cody Rhodes is going to get the W here. I think it's going to be a really good match. Again, I think the question here is if Randy does anything shiesty to Cody. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a pretty straightforward match here. Cody's going to get the W, and then we go from there. Like I said, with planting the seed between him and Orton. Next up, we have Rhea Ripley facing off against Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight. I think this is going to be a brutal match, guys. Like, maybe not brutal, but for WWE women's matches, I think this is going to be very physical, because these two women are good friends. And when you're fighting your friend out there, like you hold back even less, as crazy as that sounds. So I think these women are going to go out there and just beat the shit out of each other. I think Rhea's going to get the W here unless Roxanne Perez comes out. Unless Roxanne Perez comes out there, gets involved, and beats the shit out of Rhea too to help Raquel, obviously. Then I could see Rhea taking the L here, since obviously there's no rules. So that would be the only reason I would see Raquel winning. No offense. But yeah, my money is still on Rhea Ripley here, though. Sami Zayn facing off against Karrion Kross, bro. Let's fucking go. I'm so happy. Hey, I'm so happy for Karrion Kross, dude. Finally getting a match, a prominent match, and one against Sami Zayn and Night of Champions. I'm very stoked about that. I see Sami winning here, which sucks, because you'd like to see Kross win, but I'm just happy dude's getting some time, bro. That's all I care about. And yeah, I think this is just the beginning, though. I don't think this is going to be a one and done between Sami and Kross and for Kross in general. So I think Sami's going to get the W here, and then we move on from there. But my opinion, this is a good sign for Karrion Kross because 6 matches on the card, and it's a Night of Champions. You know what I mean? So it's not like, oh yeah, it's not like it's just some random PLE. For him to get an opportunity on this type of platform, it's pretty cool. So I'm stoked for him. I still see him losing, but I'm stoked for him. Next up, we have Jacob Fatu facing off against Solo Sikoa for the WWE United States Championship. Obviously, Fatu is our defending champion here. There's been some rumbles in regards to a debuting Hikuleu to join Solo, kind of be his new heavy. I don't know. I mean, we have seen him. There's been some pictures doing like some of the dark match shows or dark matches before the shows. So it's only a matter of time before that does happen. Callie. And I think it'd be cool if he did. It'd be a big platform. When you regardless of your opinion on these shows, right? When you visually look at it, it looks like a big deal. So that visual is going to be cool for him, and a great callback if it does happen. So yeah, like the question is though, do you really want to take the title off of Jacob Fatu so soon? Um, so I'm a little bit torn on it, to be honest with you. If they want to have something big happen, that could potentially be it. And I think, well, I was gonna say, you can make a case for Fatu chasing, but it's with certain baby faces where like they're best in chase mode. For instance, like Cody Rhodes for the championship, as opposed to actually being the defending or champion, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. But with Fatu, man, I feel like he's good as a dominant champion. He yes, he could gain more like fan and like groundswell, you know what I mean? Chasing the title and being screwed out of the title. But I think there's something to be said too about him going on a dominant streak, like having both US champions, like I said earlier with Julia, just kind of going this dominant path. The more I think about it, I'm a little hesitant on that because WWE loves Solo, man. Like they're about that guy. So I could honestly see Solo winning here with the interference from Hikuleo and capturing the US championship. So that's what I'm gonna put my money on. Excuse me. A Solo victory. And it's so ironic that his first name is Solo because he's never been solo. I guess in NXT he was, but like he's always part of a group. I'm just taking it too literal. But moving on, we have Asuka facing off against Jade Cargill in the Queen of the Ring tournament final. This one, to me, I'm like 90-10 on. I'm like 90% on Jade Cargill winning. Obviously 10 on Asuka. Just because I think Asuka, it's more, or it's easier rather, to come up with a story to get her into a championship match at SummerSlam than it would be for an opponent for Tiffany. Now, do you really want to have Jade facing off against Tiffany Stratton though is my question. um yes, there is some time still, so you can definitely work that out, get a feel for what the match is going to look like, like they can do rehearsals on it. Man, I mean, not that I'm a wrestler, right? But like you used to hear like back in the day before every wrestler had a podcast, right? Like when you would hear like interviews with like a Wade Keller or something, like they would go out there and be like, or they would have interviews like, yeah, like like we like pretty much like they would have like I obviously have an idea of how the match needed to go and who definitely knew who the winner was going to be, right? But a lot of times they would just call it in the ring. Now it's much more rehearsed, from my understanding. But whatever, you know what I mean? Um, wasn't it Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat who literally had like the match like move for mood written down? So there's something to be said about literally writing it out and like hashing it out. But yeah. Getting back to it though, that's my only concern with Jade winning. Now, I could save that though. Jade, Tiffany, SummerSlam, they start the match a couple minutes into it, maybe 5 minutes into it. They haven't really done too much, just kind of still like getting started, maybe a little bit more, like a little bit longer into it. And then all of a sudden, Naomi comes out. And Naomi screws Jade, right? The only issue with that is you need the match to go longer, right? So I guess if you could take it to like 10 minutes. I don't know, because like it wouldn't make sense for Naomi to just run out there and then have a competitive match and make it a triple threat, because why would you do that? So it would be interesting to see how they play it out. And that's why I'm 10% on Asuka too. I'm like, yo, like it would be a cool like Queen Asuka, right? That'd be dope. And I think I don't know, like Asuka doesn't need it, but I just think I think it'd be really cool. And I just really like Asuka too. But I think Jade needs it more, even though personally I wish she would have been a little farther. And in the sense that like I would have thought that she would have been like a bigger deal on the card. And whether that's I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know if it's just she's still learning type thing, or WWE is still waiting on pulling the trigger to really push her and really like go hard with her. And maybe at SummerSlam this will be it. I don't know. So TBD on that, but officially I'm gonna go with Jade. And I'm just gonna see how it plays out. You know what I mean? That's why and sometimes I'm happy to be a fan. Like I ain't gotta I'm just gonna watch. You know what I mean? So yeah, going with Jade, but I can see Asuka winning here too. And it was a really interesting reaction that Jade got, like I said earlier, from from the crowd last night, yesterday afternoon, from Saudi. So we'll see. I think it's gonna be very heavy Asuka, but that could be cool though. It could be cool to see how Jade reacts to people booing her. Obviously, she had that in AEW, but not to this effect, right? So it'll be interesting to see. And then you had the Bianca Belair of it all too. She's still, I mean, she's injured, right? But I don't know how she's going to be around SummerSlam time. I saw someone out there. I forget who it was. I wish I could give him credit, but they're like, maybe Naomi doesn't play a factor at all, or maybe she does like a fake attempt to cash in, and then kind of like does the distraction, or maybe she does intend to go out there and tries to cash in, or like without officially cashing in, like she's looking for an opportunity to give the briefcase over. Maybe Jay clocks her, whatever. Jay thinks she's in the clear. The referee's distracted with Naomi, and Tiffany's looking at Naomi too. Like, what the fuck? Like, can't I just have my match? Next thing you know, like Jade's standing a little bit more in the middle of the ring. Next thing you know, all of a sudden, someone slides into the ring behind her, just wails her, whatever she's gonna do, or hits her with the KOD. Obviously, that means it's Bianca. Jade is out. Tiffany hits the best moonsault ever, prettiest moonsault ever, and gets the 1-2-3. Naomi is still down because Jade clocked her. Bianca is getting massive heat, hopefully, or hopefully, like people haven't turned on Jade at that point, because then maybe that would just solidify Bianca as a good guy. So that could backfire. But that's kind of how I can see SummerSlam playing out. Well, okay, so to be fair, the dude said, "What if his tweet was something like, he was like, what if it's not Naomi at all? What if we get Bianca instead of Naomi?" And then that got me thinking, yo, like I could totally see it. And then that's kind of what I pictured. So props to that guy for triggering my brain. But yeah, that's how I can see SummerSlam playing out for them. And I think it kind of is the best of all those worlds, right? It gets Naomi involved. It keeps that feud between Naomi and Jade alive. It keeps the title on Tiffany. It protects Jade from losing, and it creates massive heat, hopefully, for Bianca, or at least a new development in the story, right? So, just some early thoughts on that. But again, going with Jade here, but I would not be mad at all if Asuka won. And then, what I'm assuming is going to be the main event. Has to be, right? John Cena, our WWE Undisputed Champion, facing off against CM Punk. This one, guys, sadly, it's not really that hard to predict. Cena is going to be retaining here. I would actually be shocked if Punk won. And again, I said it somewhere. Part of me was like, do we really want to be having Punk chant like his first actual like championship shot in this type of setting? Not for where it is like physically in the world, but just this type of quick hot shot, not hot shot, just this quick push of a story, right? And whatever, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm just, like I said earlier, happy we're getting this match, because their feud is one of my favorites. And so yeah, I'm personally happy just to be seeing it. I think it's gonna be a wonderful match. I think if as wonderful as it can be, right, with Cena at this stage. But like I was saying earlier, I think if anyone is going to get a good match, or a great match even possibly, out of Cena at this point, it's going to be Punk. You know what I mean? And again, unless he's Cena's going up against like a Seth Rollins or someone like that. So with this one, to me, it's a no-brainer that Cena is winning and retaining the championship. I'm intrigued though to see if they have Punk just lose clean. Just take the 1, 2, 3 and call it a day, or if there's any interference, but I don't even know who that would be from. You know, who's really going to go out there? Well, I mean, not Logan Paul. Like, I'm trying to think, like, who could go out there and try to help Cena. Or just screw over Punk. I don't know. Is Seth over there? I don't know if Seth Rollins is over there. I'm just trying to think of anyone who could potentially even get involved to possibly screw over Punk. I don't think Drew is ready to come back in. I don't see them going back. I hope they don't go. Oh, and Drew is on SmackDown now too, so they can't. Yeah, I don't know. So my not so shocking pick there is Cena retaining. And that's the card, guys. That is the card. And it's actually going to be starting in about an hour and a half. The pre-show is going to be starting, if it hasn't started already. Sometimes they do 2 hours. So I'm going to be jumping off here in the next few moments so everyone can get ready for that. But I'm going to go through your chats here and then wrap up. But yeah, I love WWE cards, man. 5, 6, 7 matches sometimes. Fantastic. But again, guys, thank you so much for everyone joining. I appreciate it. A lot of you guys are watching over on Twitter. I really appreciate that. A lot of people watch via Twitter. It's pretty cool. I never really knew how big of a audience likes to watch via Twitter. So, and just like getting new eyeballs. So that's pretty cool. So shout out to everyone over there. If you are watching over there and you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do that if you would like. It's Brass Ring Media here on YouTube. You can subscribe to my channel as well if you'd like. I have my own little channel, Kickash Podcast. You know, talk shit over there and have a good time. I most probably, almost definitely will be doing a Saturday night's main event stream watch along with obviously Goldberg and Gunther main eventing and headlining that. So if you would like to do a watch along with me, you don't have to do anything. If you would like to watch along with me, feel free to do so over on my channel, Kickash Podcast. Totally get it. Watch alongs are not your thing. I always felt weird about them prior as well until I actually turned one on. And I was like, let me see what this is about. And it was actually pretty cool. God, who was it? It was, what the fuck is her name? Why am I blanking on her name now? It was the girl from Busted Open Radio who they let go, fired, and just fucking atrocious idea and an atrocious move. Gabby. Shout out to Gabby. I think her channel name is Gabby AF on YouTube. I forget what pay-per-view it was, but I follow her on Twitter because I've obviously found her from Busted Open. I was so pissed when they fired her, let her go, whatever, later off, whatever it was. Because she was fantastic, dude. She added so much to the show. She was one of those, I think she was she was a producer on the show. She had, I think, very limited wrestling knowledge going into it, or just wasn't a fan. Obviously knew of wrestling, but just wasn't just into it really. Just didn't, I think she just had it really watched. Obviously, we're going Busted Up Radio. That's literally the entire topic they talk about. So she became a fan, got into it, started going to some of the shows that Busted Up would do at the various events. And then they let her go, which I think, again, was just a bullshit idea and a bullshit move. But she's gone out there and done her own stuff. She has her own YouTube channel. She's been involved in TNA a couple times. So shout out to her. Shout out to her and what she's doing out there. But she was my first watch along. I forget what pay-per-view it was. PLE it was. But I turned it on. I was like, yeah, let me just see what it's about. And because I'm that type too. I'll be watching something and I'm listening to something on my phone anyway. So why not? And it was dope. So, long story short, I get if watch-alongs aren't your cup of tea, but if it is, feel free to join me. Hey, I should have wrote for Punk. What up, Derek? What up, man? Appreciate you jumping in. You said when people jump on the cross train, I caution them to go back and watch his NXT run. He was given the golden chance and he came up way short, exposing his deficiencies and damaging the NXT brand. Very good point there, my friend. Very good point. I guess where I'm at with it, dude, I want to see them at least try to capitalize on this little fan swell that is getting nothing to swell. I don't want it to be overhyped, right? But this fan support that he's getting, I at least just want to see them play it out, right? Like, I think people who are advocating for him to win the Money in the Bank, that was just a little extreme for me. Like, no. And that wouldn't be fair to him either, because do I see him ever, like, let's say he won the Money in the Bank. Do you see him cashing in on Seth Rollins and beating him? Do you see him cashing in on Cody Rhodes or John Cena and beating either of them? No. So why put him in that situation? Just for us to be pissed off again. So I was never on the train for him to win Money in the Bank. I didn't even want him in the match, to be honest with you. Why put someone in that situation who is starting to get a little bit more momentum? You know what I mean? If that's, I hate that word because of how overplayed it is now. But like I said, getting a little bit more support. Why put them in a lose-lose situation? So what you say there, Derek, is a fantastic point, man, and thank you for mentioning that. Where I am at with it is, like I said earlier, with Heyman, dude, try to hide the weaknesses and just like promote the positives. You know what I mean? And it's hard to do so moveset and in-ring wrestling wise, right? Like if it's like a promo thing, I don't want to say an easy fix, but you give them a manager, limited words, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like you can finesse that, but in-ring wise, like you do have to. You have to have something. Even Cena has the 5 moves of doom, right? So you need to at least have a foundation. And I'm not sitting here saying he's terrible or anything like that. I think he's I think he's average, and not in a bad way. Like, average is not bad. You know what I mean? Below average is not good. So to me, I think it's just a matter of having the correct positioning on the card for him, inserting him in the right slots on that card, and not overplaying or underplaying it either. That's why I was saying this match with Sammy, I think is perfect because he's gonna go in, he's gonna lose the match, but it's a good platform for him, and it's scratching that itch that a lot of fans have to get him on a big stage and doing something, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with him. He has a really cool entrance, right? Like a lot of people from the jump are saying that's the only thing about him was his entrance in Scarlet. I don't necessarily agree with that. I do think he had some things that needed to be ironed out. And to be honest with you, dude, I just haven't seen enough of him in the ring since then to really have a updated opinion. So that's kind of where I'm at with him. And again, like I just want to see him used more to fully know, like, okay, like is he just one of those guys or wrestlers that like has a good following, but he just doesn't deliver in the ring, or not even that, or it's just it doesn't click, right? Because there's a lot of talent that have been out there who you would expect to be like the next big thing, no pun intended, and they just are just kind of there. You know what I mean? So yeah. I think Derek, I may be a little bit more of a fan of his than you, and but Derek, you have a different perception and a better lens than I do because you were a wrestler, so you see things that I don't see. Um, so yeah, man, that's kind of where I'm at with it. But I appreciate your thoughts there, dude, for sure. And you're very right too. You're right about that. So I appreciate that. Again, Derek coming in with the heat. He says a strong match from Jade and an aftermatch respectful handshake with Asuka will do wonders. In this case, it is not a booking issue; it's a Jade issue. She needs to show up and perform. The only question I would have for you, Derek, and I mostly agree with you there. The only question I have for you there is in regards to the booking. Do you agree with how WWE has presented her since she's I'm not even on the main roster since she's been with them because she didn't go in NXT, right? Do you agree with her aligning with um, Naomi and Bianca and kind of going in like a tag team and a trio route? Or do you think she should have gone almost like the Goldberg route? Come in, just been dominant and kind of go on like an undefeated streak, like a Hunter or whatever, but go in and kind of show dominance. Let me know what your thoughts are and how, if you agree with how they've presented her so far, because that would be my only, I don't want to say pushback, but my only question is, she has had the opportunity in the matches to showcase her moves and her skills and what she's developed, right? Because I know she's been in NXT, or not in NXT, but in the Performance Center training, right? So I I I see where you're coming from, man. But that would be my only question to you: is it like more of the presentation? Like, what is your thought on the presentation? Like, is this how they've presented her so far? Is this what you would have done, or how would you have like introduced Jade? So, question for you there, my friend. Oh, Sean, you see Punk winning and Seth cashing in? Dude, that would be fucking monster. That would be wild, bro. That would be wild. So then what? We free up Cena. Cena has no championship. So what are him like? So who will Cody face? Cody will face Seth at SummerSlam. I don't know, man. With SummerSlam this year being the first SummerSlam to have two nights, I don't see that happening. I think that'd be fucking like great TV, right? To see that shit, that'd be very entertaining. I just don't see it happening tonight, though. That'd be dope, though. Well, not really, because I don't. If Punk is gonna win, like, personally, like I want my guy to keep the title, you know. But I just don't see Seth cashing in. Maybe an attempt, and maybe like try, but I don't see it actually going through. No, I appreciate that. I don't know your username, bro. It's like KOM into some characters, but you're over there. You're watching on Twitter with the UFC. What is that? Like a rock? Like the rock, like a Brahma Bull UFC shirt? That's pretty dope. But you said to hear the in-depth breakdown of direction that you believe WWE Night of Champions is going to play out is really awesome to listen to. And if more chicks like you exist, where the hell are they? I appreciate that, dude. That's really cool. That's really cool of you. Thank you so much, man. And like I said, that's why I love like branching out on Twitter too, and that we're able to stream the show over there as well, because we get more people involved, man, and get the show out there. And I'm just here talking shit, man. So I'm glad that you enjoy the bullshit that I spew. It is K Smith. It is Saturday night's main event. I think is on the same time as All In. I forgot about that. Maybe I'll do a poll. If you are not following me on Twitter, not a plug, kind of is. Follow me on Twitter at Kickash Podcast. I'm gonna send a poll out sometime today. If you guys, well, assuming you want to do a watch along with me, do you prefer to watch Saturday night's main event or All In? Obviously, All In is the bigger show. So let me know what you guys think. Well, when I release the poll, so that's a very good point, man. Thank you, K Smith, for keeping me in line. Yeah, All In. I remembered it was the same weekend, but I completely forgot that would be airing on the same time. So yeah. Derek, okay. In regards to Cross, he says his deficiencies are not his move set or offense. It is his inability to make his opponent look good. To me, that can be a disqualifying issue from a deserving push. Very well said, dude. No wonder you're a teacher. But you're right there. I don't even have much else to say to that. You're right. And that's why, well, you're right in the sense that like I can see what you're saying. I trust you because like I said, you know what you're talking about. So yeah, dude, that's why I said like I'm gonna he's presented in how he is. I think tonight against this afternoon against Sammy, I think it's gonna be key to see how he how that match is presented. There was some report going out, or just a rumor rather, that he hasn't really, or they didn't want to push him, he being crossed, because of his unwillingness to bump or something like that. I don't know about that, but maybe. I don't know, man. That's just getting a little bit in the weeds for me. All right, man. And again, he followed up. The tag team idea allowed her to put on training wheels, her being Jade. She has been heavily protected. The training wheels are coming off. It's on her. Yeah, dude, it is. I mean, yeah, she has been protected for a while, and it's time to skate or trip over some rocks. Cena and Cody without a title. Cody needs to chase for a while. I just don't see that match happening without a title, bro. I just don't see it, man. Ah, comatose. Ah, got it, got it. That's dope, dude. That's dope. Well, welcome, bro. I appreciate you watching the show, man, and appreciate the kind words. Sigh. Wow, what up, dude? I didn't know if you were still here. You said, well, I've not watched AEW since the plastic bag and needles match. Holy shit, dude. Wow. That's been a minute. Um, yeah, dude, AEW is a whole nother topic, bro. A whole nother topic. So, uh, I'll probably be doing a stream sometime tomorrow over my channel, Kickash Podcast. So, I don't know if, I mean, depending on how much content we have to talk about coming out of Night of Champions, maybe we'll talk about a little bit of AEW as well. But man, yeah, that's a whole nother topic. Hey, Grandmaster Solus, what up? What up? Besides your first time here, is everyone excited for Night of Champions? Yeah, bro, I'm excited for it, and welcome. Appreciate you popping in, man. If y'all are here, please like the channel as well. That helps us out too. I appreciate that. Sid Fishy said you have to wait to watch it, so no Twitter or YouTube for 8 hours. I've been in that situation, bro. I have been in that situation, so I feel for you. He bumps as much as Batista did. That's funny. Donnell Mason, you said when Cena loses the championship, he will turn face and apologize to the fans. I think it'll be the shot, or the shot. I think it'll be the beginning of his face turn, obviously. But the reason I said shot is because JB Oreo came in at the end. Any thoughts on Cardona and Shotzi? To be honest, I haven't seen too much of it. I've seen a little bit of it. What, like, I think he like ran over her or some shit. Was it with her tank? I don't even know how he ran over her, but like her arm was broken. I don't know. Like I've seen like little bits and pieces of it. I love the insanity of it. I love the freedom that they have on the indie scene. I love how Matt Cardona just jumps on any little thing and just like amplifies it. He is a great businessman, a great salesman. So props to that dude, bro. Like he is out there making a killing, making his own schedule, doing what he wants, building his house, and has like a room dedicated just like a toy room. It's fucking incredible. um so yeah, dude, I have not seen too much of what they're doing, but I like it, and I love that Shotzi is out there. She had a tweet, like she sent out like she has so many dates booked up, and that's what you like to see, dude. Like fuck, like, and that's why when people like shit on WWE, like, oh, like how could you release someone like Shotzi? They weren't using her, right? Like whether they should or should not have been, obviously you can get into that. And yeah, they should have utilized and take advantage of her more, but they didn't. So why keep her sitting in the locker room, sitting in catering, doing nothing when she could be out there in the indies kicking ass and booking up? So that's why I'm like, yo, like you never like to see people losing their job, but a lot of times it's a blessing, dude, and it opens up a lot of other doors. So I just like that I like that it's a man and a woman like going at each other. So I'm here for it. But guys, we will be wrapping up here. I have to get some shit done. I'm gonna try to watch the show. Oh, not try, but I'm gonna watch the show. But I need to try to get some stuff done, squeeze all that in before I have to jump to my actual job this evening. But I appreciate you guys, so much. We have a lot of you guys watching over there on Twitter. Almost cracked 1,000, so it's pretty cool. Pretty cool between you guys over there on Twitter and here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. You guys are the rock stars here. I'm just here talking shit, and I'm just here for you guys. You know what I mean? So seriously, I appreciate you all so much. We do this every Saturday mornings. It's around 10:15. Gives me a little bit of time to get back here and get set up. So around 10:15 a.m. Eastern time frame. Definitely, like I said earlier, subscribe. It's not a plug. It's the easiest way, the easiest way to follow us. And feel free to follow me on my channel as well, Kickash Podcast. Obviously, it's all posted there on the overlay. Yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, already. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Grandmaster, you said really quick, is Seth Rollins there? Did he get on the plane? I saw a report online that said he was the NHL draft and his wife and Bailey are in Los Angeles. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if Seth is there. I'm not even sure if he took the flight. But yeah, guys, like I said, thank you so much. I appreciate you all for joining. Enjoy Night of Champions, Afternoon of Champions, wherever you're at in the world. Like I said, I'll try to jump on my channel tomorrow and do a stream. But if not, guys, stay safe out there. Enjoy your weekend. It is Saturday. We still have a couple days until Monday, today and tomorrow. Enjoy that. Decompress. Take some time for yourself. But most importantly, stay safe. And like I said, enjoy some wrestling. Take care, guys.